being so young, I just had this intense need for control, and I found that control within food and exercise. And so I was over exercising, under eating for a very, very long time.
Oh, all right.
And like I said, I just knew it couldn't go on any longer. So kind of just seeing like other amazing women that have struggled with the same types of things. And it really just inspired me to like get help. And then obviously now, like I hope to help so many young women like myself at one time that are struggling with the same thing.
Welcome to the Behind the Fitness podcast, where we interview the world's most motivating and successful fitness trainers, instructors, and coaches to inspire people to be their very best every day. Thanks for joining me today. I'm your host, Ted James. Now let's get going. We have some really great stuff to get to today, right after we get back from a word from our sponsors. Fitness videos have many downward-facing positions, where we can't reference our trainers on screen and stay in sync. Are we doing the exercising correctly? How much time is left? Has the trainer moved on to a new exercise? The FitMirror is the latest piece of home workout equipment and the solution you need. The FitMirror sits or attaches to the front of your exercise mat and reflects your on-screen workout. With its continuously curved plastic safety mirrors, your fitness video is in view in whatever position you're in. Enter your email at fitmirror.co and be the first to know when we launch on Kickstarter and receive a huge early bird discount. If you're a fitness or health instructor, you need to check out Uscreen. Uscreen is an all-in-one platform that lets people sell their videos online through a streaming service like Netflix, on a website, or their own app. All Uscreen plans include video hosting, an out-of-the-box website, live streaming behind a paywall, and many other built-in tools. This is what I use. This is what Get It Done, Gymbox, and many other industry leaders use. Our guest has helped hundreds of thousands of people live better lives through simplifying health, fitness, wellness. Also, her and her sister, aka Wildfire, are one of the best up-and-coming young country artist duels. I want to welcome Kayla Iutzwig. Kayla, can you say hello?
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
Can you give us a little bit more info on yourself too?
Yeah, so I got started in the health and fitness space during the whole quarantine pandemic type thing. So I just started uploading a lot of different fitness content, eventually like some health content, and I've been doing it ever since. I love it so much. It's one of my biggest passions. And then of course, on the music side, I've been doing that for the past like 7 years. So also one of my other passions.
Very cool. Very cool. It's not very often I talk to somebody who is a music artist along with a fitness leader like yourself. So you are definitely a busy person.
Yes, very.
Well, can you tell us what drove you to start your health and fitness journey in the beginning, just for yourself, and then continue that passion to help so many other people live healthier lives?
Yeah, so I've been pretty active my entire life. Growing up, I did dance, which kind of honestly, in a weird way, led me to my fitness journey. So I had been working out for a few years. I developed kind of an eating disorder, and I think a lot of it was to do with my whole experience with ballet and then just like some personal struggles as well.
Okay.
And after experiencing that and going to therapy, I talk a lot about this on my page if you want like the whole in-depth story. But I really got into like intuitive eating and working out for my mental health rather than so much so like the physical aspect of it. And I have just wanted to inspire like other young women and people in general to step out of this mindset of trying to be, just look a certain way and eating and exercising to do that, and more so do it for, yourself and to feel good mentally and physically.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Would you be willing to talk about your eating disorder a little bit more and like what steps you took to overcome that?
Yeah, so personally for me, my eating disorder was tied in with some mental health struggles I was having as well.
Okay.
So I had gotten to a point where I just knew it could not go on any longer. Obviously, trigger warning for anyone that kind of struggles with this topic, but I went to therapy and, of course, worked with my therapist and other mental health professionals that I was seeing to get this situation under control. And it was a lot, honestly. I was only like 16 when it was going on. So,
Okay.
uh, being so young, I just had this intense need for control, and I found that control within food and exercise. And so I was over exercising, under eating for a very, very long time.
Oh, all right.
And like I said, I just knew it couldn't go on any longer. So I kind of like talked to my parents and like asked if I could maybe see a professional. And honestly, I have to say, like, I was inspired through some health and fitness accounts that I was following at the time that were really into intuitive eating.
Okay.
For example, like Whitney Simmons was a big inspiration for me. So kind of just seeing like other amazing women that have struggled with the same types of things. And it really just inspired me to like get help. And then obviously now, like, I hope to help so many young women like myself at one time that are struggling with the same thing.
Right. Oh, that is that's good. That that's great that you came out of that, but then also to kind of have the courage to step out and talk about that and to help other people in that same situation. I'm sure that you've helped. I know you've helped tons of people do this, get past that. So thank you for that. That's great.
Yeah, it's truly a passion of mine. So anyone I can help, I always answer any DMs. So if anyone watching this wants to DM me, I'd love to like help in any way that I can.
What would be a first step that you would say to somebody that's in that situation that has an eating disorder that because I know you're not alone, and I know that people try to follow different models that they think they're supposed to look like, but and they have a calorie deficit, like it sounded like you had, where you were exercising way too much and not getting the proper
Yeah.
nutrients. What would you say is the first step for the helping those people out?
I would say it's very hard to accept when you're in this mindset. And I don't think until the past few years I've even really accepted it. But you have to switch the mindset from doing it to look a certain way. Like, these models are unhealthy, they're not nourished properly, the majority of them, and they're miserable. So if you want to look like that, you're going to feel like that. And to me, I just think feeling good is the ultimate goal. Obviously, there's so many different levels with eating disorders. So, of course, if you have like a severe eating disorder, whatever you may consider that, I always say like seek help from a professional, whether that's like a dietitian, a nutritionist, a therapist. But if you're just sensing some patterns of disordered eating, I definitely consider intuitive eating, like, as the first step. Just stop worrying about, if you're going to gain all this weight from, and like, your body knows when you need food, and to just eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full is truly, I believe, the way to do it.
Okay, great. Yeah. Was was there a final straw when you decided that, all right, this can't go on any longer? I need to definitely have the courage to ask for help. Was there any final straw or anything?
Yeah, I would say when I started feeling lightheaded and like I didn't have any energy to do anything was the final straw. I was extremely irritable. I had like lost my period. I just wasn't functioning. Like, I felt kind of like dead inside, to be honest.
Okay.
So I was just like, I can't live like this. Like, it's not truly living. And I still wasn't happy with the way I looked, even when I was doing all of this. So I realized like it's an unattainable goal, basically. And it's a just disordered mindset.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, that's a powerful story. So I'm that's terrible that you had to go through that, but now I'm glad that you have all that knowledge and you're able to help other people out in those situations. So,
Yes, exactly.
all right. Well, let's jump to the next question here and just get to know you a little bit more on your personality side and
Hmm.
experiences. What would you say is the best advice that you personally have ever received?
I would say to be your most authentic self, just because I think I spent so much of my life trying to mold into what other people wanted me to be. And kind of like once I had gotten out of high school and stuff, I started really just focusing on myself, listening to like lots of self-help podcasts, books, speeches. And something that really struck me is a lot of these people that are extremely successful and fulfilled all recommend just to be who you are, like be unapologetically yourself. And I have been trying at least to do that for the past few years. And I truly have never been happier. And I think just transforming my mindset from wanting to be liked is truly one of the best things I've ever done because now, if I'm happy with myself, it doesn't really matter if other people are satisfied with the decisions that I make because at the end of the day, I always have me and I'm happy with where I'm at in life.
Yes. And I think other people can definitely sense being authentic. And if you're not being authentic, and even though you have a mindset that other people might want you to be a different way, really, I think most people really appreciate you being most authentic and being authentic. And like I said, people can sense that and they're attracted to it, really. Yeah. So, would when you with you being a music country artist, did
Yeah.
what you say being authentic and feeling like you had to be a certain way, did that kind of have something to do with you being an artist also?
Yeah, I would say so. Especially like as, a songwriter and musician, writing like from your own authentic experiences is literally 50% of the job. So for me, being authentic didn't even mean as much so in my personal life as it also meant, transforming that into lyrics and stories. Because I think if you're just writing what people want to hear, you're not going to get the response that you think you're going to get. But when you write from your own personal perspective, no matter how silly like the story might be or how ridiculous it might seem, a lot of people are going to resonate with that. So I always just stay true to myself and like my story and just be you. Like don't try to be someone else because someone's already heard that.
Right. No, that definitely makes sense. All right. Well, this next question kind of, I guess, could relate to you being an artist or being a fitness leader and pushing through different levels of exercise, possibly. So, but when
Mm-hmm.
you're in that moment of failing and you know that you have to keep going, what do you tell yourself?
I think that resilience is something that is so, so important to me. And of course, like, especially being a musician, there's been so many times I've been told no. And instead of taking that as like a punch to the gut and just giving up, I've always remembered that what's meant for me will find me. Like, I don't need to go out and seek certain people or things. I truly believe, that the universe or God or whatever will bring you what is meant for you. That you don't have to seek it. It is attracted to you. So that's how I lead in like the musician world and in my fitness journey. And I think that kind of ties into like the authenticity. Could I maybe
Yes.
get farther if I started, trying to be someone fake? Of course, but I want to be myself. And I think in the long run, like that's what's important.
Yes. I was just thinking that that falls right back into what you were talking about with being authentic and following that path that you know that you're supposed to be on, and that's just part of being authentic and being on that authentic path for you. And I agree that you're probably going to hit no's. A lot of time you hit no. That doesn't mean that you're on the
Yeah,
wrong path. That just means you might need to work a little bit harder to get to that spot, to become that person and keep pushing ahead on that path that you're supposed to be on. So yeah, absolutely.
exactly.
All right. Well, what would you say to someone with little to no experience who would really like to, but feels uncertain about even starting to live a healthier lifestyle? What would you say to them?
I would say that you just need to start because I think that that's the hardest part. Um, Once you get in the routine and form the habits, it becomes a lifestyle. But starting the fitness journey or the health journey or whatever it may be, you're going to have people that question why you're doing it and if you're doing it for the right reasons.
Mm,
And again, I just think that you have to do what's best for you. You can, like, worrying about what other people think, trying to please other people is never going to make you happy. So, just start. Like, if you say, well, I want to start next week, start today. Like, nothing's stopping you. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. You just got to stay consistent. That's the biggest thing. And eventually, like, you'll wake up and you'll think no other than, like, oh, like, it's time to go to the gym. Like, I want to do this for me, not only to look a certain way, but also to feel a certain way.
sure. Yes. So just starting, that's the hard part. And
That is the hardest part.
I think just start with anything, because there's so much information out there about different styles of fitness, whether you're going to, do hit or strength or
Exactly.
whatever, or, distance running, or just start. Like you said, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of wanting to just go all in right when they start. And while that can be good, you're going to learn so much. It's a journey for a reason. Like the first day you start, you don't have to do every single thing perfect. Same thing with exercises. Like I always say, to my audience, like I love doing weight training and um, stuff of that sort. But there's nothing wrong if you like doing Pilates or you like doing yoga or hiking or running. Everyone likes something different. So I think it's going to take time to learn what you like. You might pick up weights and be like, this is not for me. So you're going
Right.
to have to try something else. Nothing has to be perfect. That's why it's called a journey.
Absolutely. And like you said, do what's right for you, because
Yeah,
if you're not enjoying it, it's probably not going to last. And sometimes you need to get over that hump of when you're just getting started, like the first couple weeks or 21 days, like you said, you know, it might suck at first, but then after you've done it 21 days, you realize that, wow, actually, I do enjoy this. Or you might realize that maybe I need to tweak it something and go from weights to something else. And
absolutely. Yeah,
what you enjoy, I think, is the thing you can enjoy the most. That's what's going to become more of a lifestyle than something that you dread every day.
absolutely.
And I agree with jumping in too much also. So years back, I had a friend that he wasn't exercising, but I was trying to get him to eat healthier. So I made this whole diet plan for him, and he went from someone who never really he doesn't really have fiber in his diet at all to having a lot of fiber in his diet, which, cause I'm like, all right, eat all these different vegetables and stuff like that. And then, this, it's more food than you're actually eating right now. But then that intense increase from a, his original diet to one with too much fiber, it destroyed his guts. So it was a bit too much. So I think
Yeah,
weaning in from it, whether it's from a diet or from exercise, don't go too hard at the beginning. and just try to, because it's supposed to be a life journey. It's not supposed to be a,
Yeah.
crash diet or going really hard for a month at exercise and then you don't need to worry about it again. That's not the idea.
Yeah. And that's what I always tell people too. Like, instead of this mindset of, oh, I need to take things out of my diet, I can't eat chips because they're bad for me, I can't eat this because it's bad for me. Just think in the beginning of adding new things into your diet. If you're making something with chicken in it for dinner, add some vegetables to that. It's all about adding the good, or, I hate to put labels on food, but foods that are more nutritious for your body into your diet. And that's what's really going to like lead you into making it a lifestyle.
Right, right. And I have noticed that you put a lot of food content out on social media, and
Yeah.
a lot of it looks really good. So, are
Mhm.
are you someone who cooks a lot too?
I do cook a lot. And, I found at the beginning of my fitness and health journey that I just didn't like a lot of healthy foods. At first, like vegetables to me were just kind of bland.
Mm,
And I think what I found, like now I love them. Like I crave them every single day. I crave fruit, but it's all about learning like how to season things, and it's trial and error. Like it may not taste amazing the first time, but learning, like kind of like falling in love with cooking is what really got me to like love eating healthy.
all right. I've recently really tried to start cooking more, and my wife's an amazing cook, and I am definitely not at her skill level, but that's one thing that I've been trying to work on more is my cooking skills, and a
Mhm.
lot of that is just like realizing what different kind of foods that are going to help me out just nutrition wise, and then building that into recipes and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
starting to become more of a love for me on my side.
It's exciting. Like that's what I
Hmm.
always tell people is once you can, learn how to make, like even I will post sometimes like these healthier like dessert recipes and stuff, and it's fun like to find things that don't make me sick after I eat them, and I don't feel like crap. I feel good. I feel energized. And I don't know. I think you just really have to fall in love with it. That's the main thing.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, this last question is the last question I ask everybody every time.
Mhm.
And it's I've been told it's a change the world kind of question. But
Okay.
if you were able to pick only one short message sent completely anonymous to every person in the world and they would really listen and take it to heart, what would that one message be?
I have to think about this for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. I personally feel like one of the biggest problems in our society is unsolicited advice. It distracts you from your true passion, your true goals, your true drive. It has made so many people stop from chasing their dreams and whatever they want to do in life. And I think that's don't take advice from someone that you wouldn't listen to their opinion. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that it would lead to a lot more peace within the world. And also, I would say, like, I've even been trying to do this recently, and it's start complimenting people more. Start just giving like kindness to other people. And of course, that's like so basic, but I truly believe that when we give like words of affirmation to other people, we receive that energy back in our own life and it manifests into, our life. And if more
Yes.
people like it's kind of awkward because I feel like sometimes, you're at the grocery store and you just kind of want to get in and out of there, but literally just start by like complimenting one person, or
Ah,
talking to somebody that looks like maybe they're like lonely or they don't have like someone to talk to, like if you're taking the train or whatever. uh, I think that that's the best thing because that would lead again, just so much peace in our world, if people just chose like to love first over like criticizing.
Yes. No, that makes sense. And like you said, in the grocery store, you might say something nice to one person, and that could be the best thing they've heard in months. You know, that could change their entire
Yeah.
day, or you never know what impact you're having on somebody. Even like, what is it going to take you 5 seconds to say something to somebody? That could be
Yeah.
huge. It could be life changing. You know, you never know what that little kernel of advice or compliment or gratitude could change. So that is a good one.
Truly. Yeah. Yes, I've been trying to do that a lot more in my own personal life. And I've always been a little bit reserved with strangers,
Mm,
but I think just putting yourself out there and pushing yourself to do these things, will not only make, their lives better, but yours as well.
yes. All right. Well, can you share with us how we can connect with you, and then we're going to say goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to see some daily health, fitness, inspirational content, you can find me at Kayla Iutzwig on all social platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you like to get your content. I would love for you to join the little community that we're building.
Awesome. Awesome. Also, after the show, head over to behindthefitness.com. You'll find links to videos to each episode, links to connect with Kayla, and more. Kayla, thank you again so much for spending time with us. It was definitely powerful.
Thank you.